Hello, my name is Jonathan Black, and I'm very happy to be here in Ireland talking to Lorna Byrne about my new book, The Sacred History, and other mystical matters. Lorna and I met about 8 years ago, and I was just then finishing my previous book, The Secret History of the World, and I mentioned Lorna at the end of it. Since then, Lorna has opened my eyes to many wonderful things and helped inspire the sacred history. So that's why I want to talk to her about some of the elements and themes in it and to get her views on it. Now, we met 8 years ago because in my day job I'm an editor and a publisher. Lorna, what are your memories of our meeting?
Well, my first memory is, going over to London to meet you and going into the offices, into that building, and being so nervous, and having the angels all around me. And I know Jean must have been as nervous as well, but especially up in the office and seeing you there. And ever since that very day, I've been seeing these three particular angels that are around you all of the time, even today, even now, even when we were working there. And they haven't changed in appearance or anything like that. They look exactly the same. And one is very tall and elegant. And I know that angel does its best to help you to live life, to be more relaxed, to enjoy. And the other angel that I see with you as well, was here today as well, always reminds me of a cleric, modern day cleric, and at times is holding books, and these books aren't, full of, destinies for you or anything like that, but they're full of loads of questions and many other things. And I know he helps you to, go in search of knowledge and finding out more, and I know that's why you have written these two books as well.
And anyone who knows your writing knows that everyone has a guardian angel. But am I right in thinking that none of these three angels are my guardian angel?
No, none of these three angels are your guardian angel, and I see the light of your guardian angel right behind you. Your guardian angel has allowed these angels in and around you to actually help you, with everything in your life, including, doing what you're doing, writing the books and being my editor and publisher as well, which is brilliant.
I have to say that I was very, very busy when I received the request to meet Lorna and her agent Jean, and I really didn't want to do it. I thought I just haven't got time for this. But I thought you were extraordinary when I met you, and gradually it was borne in on me that this was something that I had to do.
Well, I just thank God and the angels that you said yes.
In the sacred history, two things that I explore are the operations of the supernatural and the miraculous in history, and also in our daily lives. And I think I wanted to explore them because I think both get rather swept under the carpet. And yesterday evening we were driving through the beautiful Irish countryside, and I was surprised to see a life-size stone monument to Bernadette of Lourdes and her apparition and her vision, which is something I look at in my book. And I'm not going to ask you to comment on this, but I put you in a tradition of mystics that includes, for example, Joan of Arc and Bernadette. And I'm wondering if you can tell me why you were chosen.
I actually really can't tell you why, because I don't know why God chose me. I'm just an ordinary person, and why he chose someone else. You know, why didn't he choose someone else? I'm always asked that question, and I have asked God and the angels, and the only answer I have ever been given back is, why not you? So I can't really answer it because I don't know.
As we were driving along, I was thinking this is rather incongruous, because I'm sitting in a car with someone who probably has had, in some ways, more extraordinary visions than Bernadette.
More than likely, I'm being told to say.
Another of the visions that I explore in the sacred history is the series of visions that came to 3 Portuguese children, the children of farmers near Fatima in the fields. And I believe you have some insight into what was happening there.
Well, one part that really did happen, and it's always very important to remember that. But one part of it that I love is when the angel appeared to the 3 children, and I don't think people realise why the angel got down on its knees and bowed in front of the 3 children, praising God. And the reason the angel did that in front of the children is because the children have a soul. Each of those 3 children had a soul at that time within their human body, just like you have and everybody else in the world. So the angel was in the presence of God.
And the angel was in the presence of God because the soul
of the soul within the
is a spark of,
is that spark of light of God.
Of God, yes.
And it fills every single part of you.
Yes.
So you can't die, it's only your human body that dies. You live forever. And I think that was lovely when I was told that part of the story. I just had to smile, the angel bowing down, getting down on its hands and knees. And I knew that even the children didn't know why the angel did this in front of them, praising God. But it was because of their soul being that spark of light of God.
That's very interesting. And one of the reasons I've written the sacred history is because I think we all tend to have an assumption that great miraculous and supernatural events only happened a long time ago in far off places, perhaps when people were a little more gullible and superstition, and the implication is that perhaps they never really happened at all. And one of the things I want to show in my book is that as many large-scale, well-attested miracles have happened in modern times as happened in biblical times. And that, for example, if you take the 20th century and compare it with an equivalent biblical period, say for example the life of Moses, a little over 100 years long, then you will be able to find events which are as spectacular and well attested as, for example, the parting of the Red Sea. And the appearances at Fatima give us a tremendous example of that, because of the miracle of the rotating sun, which was seen by between 70 and 100,000 people, and over a 17-mile radius, and there is some photographic evidence, and I think it's a great thing to have that sort of verification.
I know those things are still happening today.
Are they?
In the world, and happening in people's lives personally as well.
Yes.
You know, sometimes those little miracles, those little, you know, something spiritual that someone experienced themselves.
Mm.
It's not just happens to somebody only in the past, it happens in your life as well, personally, for you.
Yes, I think we're
And
taught.
sorry interrupting,
No.
but I would love God to allow another big thing to happen for
Yes.
the world. You know, something that nowadays modern man, you know, could say, well, this happened in my time.
Yes, that would be tremendous, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Perhaps you can put in a word.
I am actually.
Another of the kind of big, well-attested miracles happened at roughly the same time, which is during the First World War, and I'm thinking of the appearances of the angels at Mons and other angelic appearances over the trenches. And when I first started to research the sacred history, I believed that that the reports of angels weren't true, and that it was a myth which had grown up because a short story had been published in the London Evening News and everyone had taken it as reportage. But when I looked into it, I found out that some of the reports of angels actually predated the story, which appeared in September, and the first reports of sightings of angels were in August. And I suppose the most famous one was at Mons, where 4 or 5 great white shining beings were seen in the sky. And then at Bethune later, German soldiers saw a white cavalry bearing down on them, which seemed impervious to any of the shells or bullets they put in their direction.
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting, isn't it? Angels appearing to both sides.
Yeah, well, you have to remember both sides, every human being has a soul and a guardian angel. So, of course, God would have the angels appear to both sides to stop fighting, even if it was only for a brief moment. And I remember you told me something about the day before.
Well, yes, because so many British and other Allied troops were, they were in danger of being massacred, Britain held a national day of prayer, and the whole nation prayed for these soldiers to be delivered. And
they were praying the day before, and that's, you know, prayer is extremely powerful. And with all of the people praying at that time, God allowed the angels to appear, allowed that miracle to happen. Just peace for a moment, for the fighting to stop.
Mm.
You know, and I think that was wonderful. I'm being told that actually happened. So
it actually made a difference. Yes.
And it did make a difference.
So perhaps that might be an institution worth reviving, the national or international day of prayer.
Day of prayer, and for everyone to pray for. The main thing I always say is for peace in the world. But for everyone of every religion, or even if you're of none, you say you don't believe in anything, you've nothing to lose.
Mm.
You know, because prayer is very, very powerful.
So as well as these, there are other examples in the book, but as well as these very kind of large-scale, epic miracles, I also explore in the book something you were just talking about, which is angels appearing in quite ordinary day-to-day circumstances. I think in a recent survey, 5% of people living in the UK said they had either seen or heard an angel. Perhaps nobody else is able to see angels all the time as you do.
Yeah.
But when, for example, somebody is on a long car journey, has fallen asleep, and suddenly hears a voice telling them to wake up. Do you think that's an angel?
That is an angel.
And when somebody, a mother, suddenly looks around and sees her pram rolling off the pavement into the traffic, and a figure appears and stops the pram, could that be an angel?
Yes, and once that person can't be found again, and that happens lots of times, you know, right across the world, where there has been an accident or someone has got lost and an angel has guided them, and when they go in search of them, they can never find them.
Because I wonder, because angels can perhaps appear in extraordinarily different forms, because there are lots of stories in the Himalayas, for example, of mountaineers getting lost and stranded, and a rather mysterious and grumpy old man comes and leads them down, and then mysteriously vanishes.
You have to remember, the angel will appear in the way that a mountain climber will recognise. A mountain climber would follow an older looking man because he would believe he's local, he knows the area, he knows exactly how to get down off this mountain. Where if an angel appeared as maybe a child, I don't think the mountaineer, the climber, would react.
No.
He would actually, oh no, I'm seeing things, you know, but he would react to an angel appearing as a grumpy old man, but that is to get the mountain climber to follow them.
Mm. And if an angel suddenly appears to stop a pram rolling into the road, the angel is actually having a physical effect there, and you do give a few examples of that in your books, but it's quite a rare thing, isn't it?
It is. It's very rare, and I would love for God to allow angels to physically help us more in like, you know, touching something or moving it back, but it is only seldom, very rare that it happens, even within my own life.
Yes.
You know.
And so, how do people like myself who don't have your great gift, how do we look for the evidence of angels around us if we don't get those very definite physical things happening?
Well, you're already doing it. You have become so interested that you're searching to know more, so you're already doing it that way. And most of us, at some point in our life, hear someone talking or something happens, and it starts us searching, you know, to know more. Like, I'm still hearing from children who say they never knew they had a guardian angel, you know, and still hearing from older people who never realised that either. You know, the angels do light up our path to help us.
Yes.
But we have to respond. We
Yes.
have to say, like you did, even though you didn't really want to, but you said yes in the end,
Yes.
even though you had lots of work on, and it has made you more curious now that you have written 2 books going in search through history for evidence of angels, of miracles, of all of the spiritual.
Yes. Well, what I've tried to look for in the sacred history is patterns of the supernatural, things that wouldn't be happening to us if science explained everything there is, but things which do happen to us every day. And Lorna, in that search and in trying to find those patterns, you've been a tremendous inspiration to me. So thank you for all your help.
And thank you for saying yes. Okay.